Radio Free Cybertron, the original Transformers internet radio show since 1999. They act like that's an accomplishment. You're watching Radio Free Cybertron. For the latest Transformer news, reviews, and more, visit tformers.com.
This is Radio Free Cybertron, episode 364, recorded in the future. 2014 seems like the future, right? I'm not mistaken.
Wasn't Transformers the movie? Wasn't that 2012?
Well, Transformers, like the movie came out in '86.
Yeah,
it's the year 2005.
2005.
2005.
The far off year of 2005.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, 2005.
I love that when I watch that. It's the year 2005.
It is the year 2005.
But my vehicle does not look like a hot rod. Where are our futuristic flaming Winnebagos?
Where are our laser pocket knives?
And our hoverboards.
Our hoverboards.
Yes.
And our 80s hair metal that just plays randomly when we do cool things. I mean, that hasn't happened in a while.
Yes. I want Stan Bush to do my life soundtrack.
He probably would. I'll give you his email address.
Cheap.
No, he's a great guy. He'll probably do it for free. He's awesome. God, he's awesome. He's a great guy. I really like him. So, aside over. Okay, so today's 5/21/2014. I am your host, Brian Kilby. With me this week, we have Melvar in his Decepticon t-shirt.
Boo. Hiss.
We have Diecast and Headmaster Don Ferguson.
Anybody.
The Headmaster Don.
Who has a headless Scorn?
Yes, I have.
It's a headless slug.
I have a headless slug.
So I'm probably wrong, but having dealt with Hasbro from customer service perspective, they've been great. They really have. But having managed like customer service people at a corporate level and things before, I know the cost involved. So before the show, I was telling Don it just makes way more sense for Hasbro to just give him a new Scorn or Slug, whichever one it was, than to like go out and source a new head for him and mail it to him. I'm certain that actually the cheapest would for them just to cut you a check.
Yeah.
Actually, no. The cheapest is for them to tell you to take it back to wherever you bought it and return it.
Well, I've tried that twice, and they haven't restocked the shelves to. If I wanted to swap it out for Bumblebee or Crosshairs, I could. But
you could probably trade it in for a Dark of the Moon Bumblebee. You could.
Well, they've still got Prime, Bumblebee, and Starscream on the shelf.
Or maybe a Rise of Cobra Commander.
I have not seen one of those in several months. I've looked.
Yeah, I think my Walmart still... I don't know that they have Cobra Commander, but I'm pretty sure that they have like that little game thing that was carded that had the little slider and it would make like a picture. I think they still have that from Rise of Cobra. That was, what, 2009? Good God. Okay. It's kind of crazy. So, on the show this week, we have the news, and we have This Week in History. Man. Lots of news this week. Nothing else, though. We don't have comic news. The new issue of Windblade came out this week. I know. We'll have a review of that next week. I think we're trying to stagger the reviews to give people more time to actually read the comic, so in case they're, accidentally spoiled. So, and Rob Springer is on a break. He's not doing Q&A with Rob Springer. But you can still send questions to contact@tfradio.net or tweet him or send it to our Facebook fan page at facebook.com/tfradio. He will be back next week. So, This Week in History. So we never talk about Beast Wars 2nd, mostly because none of us speak Japanese. It's never actually it's never had a major release outside. It's never had a release outside of Japan that I know of, and it has been released, and it's completely unaffordable, and it's unintelligible. It's generally pretty bad. The post Beast Wars series in Japan are all pretty rough. But the Beast Wars second episode, The Strongest Tag Team, premiered in Japan this week in 1998. And the reason I mentioned that, to me, Beast Wars second is still relatively new. And that was 16 years ago.
What?
So, I know. I run that into the ground, but just think about it. For the people that were around then, like us, 16 years ago, my eBay account can legally drive for a person, and it soon will be able to vote.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Yep,
that's true.
Craziness. Go ahead, Don. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I just don't even know what that episode was.
It doesn't matter. They were all pretty much the same, except for the movie. But otherwise, yeah. Beast Wars second.
Oh, okay, that's the one. Okay, that's what it is.
I've never watched more than 5 or 6 episodes. I think there's a fan sub out there, but I've never found it complete. And if I did, I still probably wouldn't watch it. Same thing goes for Neo. But I probably would watch a fan sub of Beast Wars and Beast Wars Metals just to see how crazy and different it is. Okay, Optimus Primal's looking for his bananas. He's looking for his bananas. Sorry. So, good news. So, Masterpiece Grimlock, which is we announced earlier was going to be reissued, is showing up now in the U.S. at Toys R Us, and it's $60.
Talking about things from
For
10
now.
years ago,
$60
that
for
price.
now.
Yeah.
That's great.
This is going to be the next thing that goes up 2 or 3 times before Toys R Us runs out of stock on this.
No bet on that. No bet.
And what drives me crazy is the people on the forums saying we expect this to go up, because it's like telling Toys R Us, it's okay, go ahead, raise your prices. We expect it.
Maybe they won't.
Because it's actually about the same price as what we've heard that Prowl's going to come out at.
So I'm not going to comment on which is a better toy, because they are both fantastic. But there's no argument which one has more mass and which one's heavier. That's Grimlock. It's a much bigger toy. So the fact that they are selling that at $60 is surprising, to say the least.
And it's also good for everybody who didn't want to pay the terrible, horrible, wallet-hurting aftermarket prices on that figure.
Or pay the import prices for the subsequent reissues. I mean,
yeah,
that one reissue in Japan, isn't it like $250 by the time it was shipped over here and markup was applied? I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah.
The only thing I would, just random wishing here, I do wish the King Grimlock version was reissued a little cheaper than what it was.
So, what's the difference between King Grimlock? That's not the Marvel version, is it?
Yeah,
it is. So it's the Marvel paint job with a crown.
Yeah,
we got the crown
and the Marvel box art, kind of like what they did for the G.I. Joe San Diego stuff.
That's right. So
I'm not going to pay $250 for box art, though.
Again, that's just what I'm saying is I would, of the two versions, I don't have that one, and if they're going to reissue that one, I wish it had been just a little bit cheaper, because that's what it was when it came out, which I guess is good for that figure not being any higher, but for someone who wants to buy it but not pay the, you know what I mean.
It's I do like the colors, but the fact that we got the crown and the Hasbro issue of that makes me happy. But we didn't get the apron.
I've got the chat. I sold the apron and the serving tray stuff on eBay just by itself.
How much you get out of it?
35.
It's not bad. I got like $70 for my MP Hot Rodimus convoy trailer.
Oh, jeez, I would have bought that probably just to have them. That's okay, no biggie.
I would like for them to reissue Masterpiece Rodimus and hopefully fix it. But apparently there's not one good solid issue of that toy.
No.
Well,
I thought the Hasbro version fixed things, but it didn't.
Yeah.
I think you'd
surprisingly
have to go
though,
straight back to the drawing board on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, everything
probably about that.
Most all the people that I've heard that do reviews that have any kind of engineering ability are saying pretty much on paper everything fits, but when you have the variance and tolerances that an actual assembly line generates, it's just the design is right. It's just in the production, the slightest bit of variance, everything goes off, and that's why you have so many different problems popping up with the same mold. It's because all these tolerances all over the place, a joint here, a joint there, and that's what's part of the problem. So, like you said, you have to redesign the whole figure.
Yeah, you're right. Honestly, last week we talked about the Transformers Generations potential exclusive figures. There's is it a vote? Is that how it's going? Are they voting on which figures are going to be the exclusive to the Generations?
Well, I think that the way I understood it, Brian, I may be wrong, but I thought this is what they were voting for, the next figure to come with the next Milner
right.
book.
That's what I'm asking.
Okay.
So that's what it is. Okay. Yeah. So we have go to tformers.com and you can actually see for yourself. We have clearer photos of the figures.
Much better.
Oh, much better than what we had. Sure. So looking at them, I thought last week that I liked Alpha Trion, and now that I actually see a clearer photo of it, I love Alpha Trion.
I love Alpha Trion.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that would be...
It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
I think that would be my pick.
Smokescreen looks much better than I thought. Ghost Shooter looks great. Silverbolt is surprisingly halfway decent. Camshaft and Downshift are okay. That is Drift. He's a black version of Drift.
Yeah, I would take the black Drift just because I like that mold.
Which may be Deadlock, which was his Decepticon self before he switched sides, I think.
There's only one Voyager on the list, number 9.
Yeah, the Grimwing mold. The thing is with the Omnibots, how do you... Omnibots are kind of like Insecticons. You kind of want the sets. They kind of belong in sets.
Well, it's kind of... yeah.
And why did they use an Ironhide mold for one of them?
Well, I've got Camshaft. That's actually probably the closest mold you're going to have available that would have the same basic silhouette as Camshaft's original design. Yeah, if you look up the Camshaft,
why would you reissue that mold as anything?
Again, it fits his silhouette. That's probably what they're shooting for.
Yeah, it's not bad.
But now, the only one I don't understand is the police Sunstreaker. Is that Diaclone? Is that going back to a Diaclone? Okay, because I didn't remember it being in any media that I'm aware of.
Yeah, that is Diaclone. It is, right?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not.
Alpha Trion's the best one.
That would be my number one choice. Yes.
Well, I'll be honest. Since I've got Botcon Alpha Trion from the Vector Prime mold, I would have to either go with Downshift because he was my favorite Omnibot, or that Silverbolt.
I'm going with Alpha Trion. I love Silverbolt.
Yeah.
Okay, let me actually go back, rewind my brain, think about the Silverbolt episode. I tolerate Silverbolt, but I love the design of the character, and that does a fair, reusing a mold that does a fair shake at capturing the spirit of the character. But I think Silverbolt is such an iconic design. It's such a, I would say, fairly important Beast Wars character. I think that it's about time that we get a new, homage to Silverbolt in the main line of Generations, and not as a repaint or retool. He doesn't necessarily have to be a Fusor, but that would be great.
They'll probably reissue the Condor version then, Brian.
Okay, he needs to be a Fusor. Actually, let's have a whole wave of Fusor homages. Maybe Quick Strike. Quick Strike was awesome.
Well, they did him in the Dark of the Moon line as the Sideswipe recolor retool.
That's right, but again, that was an homage, and it wasn't a Fusor, but it was nice. It's a car. I had that. I forgot I had that. Yeah, I completely forgot about that. I have it listed to talk about the Transformers Universe Under the Hood video series, where the Jagex guys are answering questions about the game. But I'm just, at this point, so not super enthused about it. It's just, I don't know. It'll take more than that, I think, to re-excite interest in the MMO.
Well, it's been bouncing around for, what, 3-4 years? Yeah. And it's changed formats.
A couple times.
Yeah, I'm kind of over it.
I think they just need to get the thing playable and then start worrying about promoting. It's just like, here's the game you can finally play after 4 years. Knock yourselves out.
It's the Duke Nukem Forever of Transformers.
That's a very apt description.
We all know what happened with Duke Nukem Forever.
So this one actually surprises me. So Big Red Soda has a Transformers Age of Extinction promotion going on. They're going to have limited edition cans and $25,000 in prices. So they look nice. But what surprises me, I thought Big Red Soda was a generic store brand soda. So
I've never heard of
it either.
I mean,
where can I get it? Because I need to get these.
I've run across it at Walmart. I mean, I found it here, and I just thought it was like they're like cherry soda. I honestly I didn't realize that it was an actual brand and not a store brand.
Yeah, the only Big Red I know of is the gum. I have no idea who these folks are.
But so if you are in an area where you can get this, the cans look pretty nice.
Yeah, they do.
So
Walmart is the place to get these?
It's where I found them at Walmart.
I have not seen them at my local Walmart yet, anyway.
Did you see them with the Transformers logo? The Transformers?
No.
Okay.
I found 2-liter bottles at Walmart.
Don, look into this. You got to find this out for us.
I will check tomorrow and report back of any things.
So we have photos of the Amazon exclusive Transformers 4, Transformers 3 technically, Dark of the Moon, and Age of Extinction, Mirage, and Darkseid Soundwave figures. They actually look pretty nice. I really like the paint isn't the right way of describing it because it's molded in red. The detailing on it just, I think, looks really nice.
Yeah. And that sideways mold is not a bad figure. It really is. It really is. For a movie figure, it is pretty decent. The Mecha Live gimmick is kind of dumb.
The Mech Tech?
Yeah, the Mech Tech is just you bend the elbow and the elbow gears turn. Occasionally these movie figures do look pretty nice, and especially with a little bit of extra polish to them. These look great.
Are we going to get these in the U.S.? Because we never got that Soundwave mold in the U.S. yet. So.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was a sort of a club or Botcon exclusive or something. But who knows? Walmart, Don, get on it. Walmart may end up getting some sort of exclusive on that. I mean, stranger things have happened. Or Toys R Us.
With it being Amazon Japan, now you can order toys on Amazon Japan and they'll deliver to the U.S., just not movies, or is it the other way around?
They won't do toys, I don't think.
Okay, so it's movies that you can get delivered, but not. I remember when they did the DVD with the black 2007. I'm sorry, Revenge of the Fallen Optimus Prime in black. Some people got it delivered to the U.S. because it was being considered. Okay, it was a DVD. Okay. Sorry, I was trying to help some people out there if they can order it direct, but
get it through Big Bad or TF Source, or Captured Prey. I'm sure Captured Prey will have it. So,
I don't know about y'all, but of all the movie figures that I want the dispensor.
Yeah, like an actual dispensor, or what we're getting.
Well, I think what we're getting is the closest we're ever going to get. So.
other than a potential third party, or someone done a third party of that. They should, if they haven't.
No, I'm kind of surprised no one's done that yet.
There's demand for it. So next year, is it next year? Yeah, in 2015, Takara Tomy will be reissuing some of the Masterpiece figures, including Red Alert, Sideswipe, Starscream, and MP10 Optimus Prime. So,
will this be the third reissue
of?
Red Alert, and
I'm going to say it's the first reissue and third run because they did 2 runs of. I'm going to say it's a third. I'm going to say it's a third run in first reissue because I don't. It's kind of like they released Red Alert and Sideswipe, and then a few months later did another run of them.
Yeah. Almost a year later for them.
Was it a year? Well, no idea how much these will actually cost once they're here, but respectively, it looks like Red Alert and Sideswipe are 5,800 yen. Starscream is it Starscream that's or Optimus?
Yeah,
that's going to be 13,800.
Starscream.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Optimus is 22,000.
Now,
this makes me kind of happy because I never did get Sideswipe or Red Alert.
I got the lunchtime specials, and they're pretty nice. And there's a lunchtime special right now of G2 Sideswipe, which if you don't want to wait, and if it's already sold out, I might recommend that. But you know, there's so much plastic in that Starscream, but they've got so much use out of that mold at this point. I guess they can sell it at nearly 10,000 yen less than Optimus.
And we're getting Sunstorm out of it still.
That mold needs to die, but I like the look of that Starscream.
Yes.
What, Don?
Brian? Yeah. One thing. I just want to get y'all's opinion. When I read this earlier, this is what I was thinking. Do you think they're doing these reissues from a financial standpoint to get more money from molds they know will sell, because we may be getting molds coming up that have less repaint potential,
like Galvatron,
or exactly Galvatron, or maybe
Mirage,
Mirage.
Mirage.
I mean, because I've thought this before that's like why they did the three Datsuns to make room for, say, Starsaber to help balance out the costs. Do you think that maybe that's why we're getting these reissues?
It's possible. It's possible. I don't know how financials in Japan work, but in the U.S., where companies tend to release their financial results quarterly, they would want to balance that sort of thing out in the same quarter, so that their comp sales are better. Yeah. So that it looks like, hey, we have better sales. Our sales were balanced out. Cost, margin, all that stuff. So it's possible, but the way that things like that work in Japan may be entirely different, and they just want there's just demand for it. Items on back order from retailers, and they just wanted to release it. I honestly don't know, but that's a perfectly plausible idea. What are you drinking, Don?
Diet orange soda.
You like it?
It was cheap. I'm broke.
Sam's Club version?
Walmart.
So, yeah, I'm sorry, Sam's. So, because I love soda, I will say Walmart's orange, their lemon lime, and their Diet Dr. Pepper, all great.
Yeah, I don't get paid till tomorrow, so I'm kind of at my wallet is like, hello.
Oh, being single.
Everyone thinks being single is awesome. It's not. It's not the cornucopia of delight that you all think it is.
Pretty boring, actually.
Single, I would prefer it.
I love being married.
Well, I have a cat who attacks me at random intervals. So.
My wife even told me
and we all appreciate that.
It's just like having a wife.
Yeah, my wife even said I could go to Botcon this year.
I still think that's a trap.
Yeah, it's a
but
trap.
he fears the consequences.
I fear the consequences. So
I can hear Admiral Akbar in my head now.
So if Botcon is again on the West Coast next year, I'm going to go.
I'm hoping.
No, don't.
I will.
I am hoping that they will move it back to the East Coast or the Midwest, somewhere off. They owe it. I think they owe the fans of the East Coast and the Midwest something a little closer. Just,
I don't know. It's possible.
Well, we'll find out.
I don't know that they necessarily owe us anything.
Well, that was a bad choice of words, but
it would make sense.
Yeah, from a logistic standpoint, it couldn't hurt to have it closer to this part of the country.
I'm telling you, Nashville. Even though the people that I know that live in Tennessee say no way in hell should it be in Nashville, I'm all about Nashville. But that's just me. Okay, let's see here. What's next? We have so Rise of the Dark Spark. Again, I'll point you to T-Formers. I'm not going to play the video. We have a new trailer that shows off Bruticus. So it's Bruticus from Fall of Cybertron. But
and I like that Bruticus. Anyone who's played Fall of Cybertron, that's a really enjoyable board.
That was one of the highlights of the game.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say this. I'm still playing through War for Cybertron, so I haven't played Fall of Cybertron. He's a non-playable character, right?
No, he's a playable character.
He's playable? Well, hell.
Yes.
Never mind. I was hoping you would save that for this.
Oh, no. You get to play him more than once, too.
Nice. Don is typing away like that.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. I do it, too. And
so if they're reissuing, or if they're just reusing things from the last video game, I'm okay with that, as long as they incorporate some new stuff into it. I mean, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. The last game was really fun.
So let me point out what Don's doing. So we have at tfradio.net/live, we have our chat, and at tvormers.com. During the show, we participate with the live audience. We love it. It's our favorite thing to do. So if you are listening to the podcast or watching the video later, watch us live. It's great. We really enjoy it. So it's pretty awesome. I need to be better about it, but I do try to pay attention. And I try to pay attention to Twitter during the show, too. Let's see here. Rise of the Dark Spark, that's coming out when?
The week before the movie comes out, I thought, was what they were saying.
So, in a couple weeks.
Holy crap, that soon?
Yeah.
Crap. Okay.
Well, the movie's less than a month away. So's Botcon.
So Don and I are now chatting about typing during the show. And I'm saying, don't worry, Don. I have an IBM Model M keyboard. That's the loudest darn thing on earth when you type. I'm just giving you crap. I'm probably going to get an angry email now for giving you crap. Because you're like untouchable at this point. Because you're like everyone's favorite thing about the show.
What?
No, it's Maxie. Maxie's
He's sitting there yelling at me for something. And he has food, he has water, he has a place to pee, and his window's open.
I wish I had that. Hey, Don, so before we get back to the next news item, you were on the show last week. So I was talking about our trip that we took. Wasn't that fun?
It was. It was very fun.
We got to hang out with friends. We got to look for toys. I took Don by my place of work. It was a blast, and of course we looked at awesome toys at Retro Reboot in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Yes. And just some toys I haven't seen in a very long time, like the Action Master Double Punch and Omega Supreme that I've never seen.
You were like, so I wasn't even thinking. You're like, is that a Mega Supreme? I'm like, no, it's not a Mega Supreme. Why would that be here? It was a Mega Supreme. It sure was.
It was, and everyone knows I am not a big Action Master fan, but the Elites, I've got Thundercracker and I've got Circuit. I would not mind having an Omega Supreme. It's just, if this wasn't a month before Botcon, maybe, but it's, but I mean, they had Rotor Storm, they had that Landclaw set. I picked up
Landcross was a surprise.
Yeah. I picked up the Shattered Glass Drift that I needed. That was the last club exclusive figure that I needed. As a matter, I've got it. But that was a great little store. They had carded Gundams that I haven't seen in 15 years, except for on my wall in there. But I haven't seen them available anywhere. Just some gorgeous stuff.
And Diecast and Melvar, they just they missed out. They need to move.
Yeah, I live like 400 miles away.
Yeah.
It's worth the drive. It's worth the drive.
So one of the coolest news items of the week was this. God, where did it even show up? It was in a book. Was it in the Last Generations book? The transforming pen convoy figure. So T-Formers, we had posted the link there to our Facebook page, and lots of people commented on it. I've been trying to post news items to Reddit as well, and I got quite a few comments on Reddit around this. It looks like the world's worst pen. It looks like it's super uncomfortable to write with. But by God, that looks like a frickin' awesome little transformer that you get from that pen. The Optimus Prime / Convoy figure, I think, looks great. It's $55, so it's a little pricey for the size. But it's also going to be available, it looks like, as Nemesis Prime? Or Convoy? Black Convoy?
Black Prime, yeah.
Whatever. It's going to be Black Convoy, so... yeah, it looks great, but $55. I don't know if it looks that great, but I am definitely buying it.
Well, there's. I don't know. That is kind of nice.
It's nice looking, isn't it?
Yeah, this is the first time I've actually looked at it. I've sit down. That's
$55 in September. So
damn it, I want that now.
I know.
It's such a bad looking pen, though.
So
if it transformed into his cab too, that would be cool.
So I'm wondering, one, if it transforms into some sort of pen holder, like if it just like wraps around a standard ballpoint pen, because otherwise I'm never going to be able to use it as a pen once the ink runs out. But it's nice looking.
I'm surprised the pen tip isn't done. Like you would sandwich the gun in between the legs.
When the ink does run out, you'll still have an awesome little Optimus Prime.
Yeah.
That's
unlike
true.
Unlike that Armada Optimus flashlight, that once the battery died, you have a crappy little Armada Optimus Prime.
Well, it's
I
Armada
think it
Prime.
does wrap around the pen, Brian, because if you look at the feet have notches in them where the pen would go.
Ah, good.
Yeah,
good.
I hate to say this, but if you look at Optimus Prime's crotch on the bottom, it looks like the pen tip is there.
The tip's in his crotch? Is that what you're saying?
On the bottom of his crotch, yes.
The bottom. Don, you examined his crotch way too close. I can't.
It just sort of jumped out at me. I'm sorry.
I don't want to think about Optimus Prime's crotch and fluid and balls.
That's better
Optimus
left
Prime's
the fan
crotch
page.
jumped right down at Don.
It's 3D.
That's why he's called Headmaster.
Okay.
I'm going to add that to the list.
So Make Toys released a catalog of their stuff.
Oh God, a beautiful, beautiful wallet-hurting catalog that everybody must look at.
So we have now a complete photo of Quantron, and it comes with a photo of Giant to compare it to. I'm still not sold on it. I love Computron. I love Computron a lot, but there's just something a little off. If I view this as like some sort of Fall of Cybertron, Computron, maybe, but as a direct G1 homage, it just doesn't work.
It looks.
I like this. They're looking at the individual pictures. There are a couple of things that bother me. Just nitpicky little things like the Afterburner figure. I hate those hands.
Here's nose cone.
Yeah,
Just
but
a strafe.
It's
Or not cone.
But overall, I really, really like these.
Yeah, that's.
Oh yeah, like the splitting of those wheels just doesn't look right.
Yeah.
That just looks odd.
And he really, really looks like a Tron cycle now.
Yeah. Light speed.
Well, I mean, there are
or
worse
not
things.
speed. Sorry. Yeah. I'm trying to just fit not in all these names.
It is kind of shoulder kibbly, but I can see what they were going for. But yeah, the hands are kind of shovelish.
Yes.
But it's at least it's not the exact. At least it's not all the hands are the exact same hands, just from a cost saving measure.
Scatterknot just looks really weird.
Scatternauts.
Scatternauts.
Oh, that's great.
I like that.
His vehicle mode. I mean, obviously, Scattershot was a very interesting jet with an interesting cannon mode. I like the robot mode of Scattershot like way better, but the jet mode just looks off.
Just looks like a folded up robot.
Yes, that's exactly it. The back here, I mean, God, just for something about it, I know it's not, but to me this looks like almost like, I know it looks nothing as far as color scheme and everything, but from a build quality and just the way that it connects and everything, it's almost like build keying or something to me. I don't know, just like I get a red vibe from that, or a car robots vibe.
Maybe that's why I like it, because I do like car robots. It's just, I like the fact that you can take the backpack off and it becomes the bow and arrow, but he still has his traditional weapons. It works so well as Computron. It just it doesn't work for me as Computron.
I have no problem with it as Computron. It's like one or two of the individual figures just
I'm looking for
a little off.
I'm looking for my Computron on the shelf to compare it to.
Hang on.
But
I've got mine right here, Brian.
In a shelf of holding. Come on. And what I like about what Don uses his headset, I use this podcasting mic that I put in. I'm thinking about switching to a headset so that I can do exactly what Don just did. Yeah, that's the stuff. That's what it should look like.
No.
Yeah, see, it's just not. I don't know. There's too many shades of red on this thing. It's overall just too red.
It's too red and it's too busy. Like comparing it to Giant. Giant is a great modern day reinterpretation of Devastator. The kibble, so artistically, the kibble bits are in the right place. It looks nice. It's what you would think a new Devastator would look like. Computron or Quantron almost looks like almost Dark of the Moon-esque or New Movies-esque.
They definitely took some liberties
where
when they
crap goes everywhere. Just like
also the thing, one thing, Brian, is when you're looking at Devastator, you're looking at a more uniform base color scheme. Yeah, green, yellow, or orange.
I mean, it wouldn't matter. It could be that knockoff that was like black, red, orange, yellow, green, blue. That thing I wanted so bad that I've never actually got my hands on. Yeah. I think cohesively Giant looks nice. It looks great. It wouldn't really matter what the colors are. The colors on Quantron, they just. This could be monochrome, it could be grayscale, it could be black and white. It would still just look too busy, which makes me sad.
Yeah, it's possible some of those weapons can come off. It's possible. You can tweak it to some degree too. It's I'm just saying. When you have something as multicolored as Computron is originally, everyone's going to see different color schemes on this product here. But with Giant, everyone expects unified green or yellow, and you've got unified green or yellow. But that's just me.
I really want to. You know which third party or knockoff toy I'm talking about, right? That I don't. You've seen it. God, I'll look for it while we talk about.
Oh, the Devastators.
Yeah.
The white ones we saw last week. Was it the white one, the black one?
No, it's one I originally saw back in the 90s. I'll look it up.
Okay.
I don't remember what it's based off of. So, like in a what the hell sort of thing, KSC is doing a knockoff Cyclonus.
It's a Voyager size.
It's Voyager class. It's just weird.
I said, and we have a decent Cyclonus in the Classics line. Yes, it's only a deluxe, but
it's fine.
it's fine. Do we really need a Voyager? It's not that much bigger.
The only reason we would need a Voyager Cyclonus is if we had a Voyager Galvatron.
Which they may have designed this to go alongside of that Mania King figure. What was that? Unique Toys, I think.
Yeah. Well, now but this is something you brought up, Brian. Third party doesn't need to be making what we're getting already from Hasbro. The chances of us getting a new Computron are slim and none. But
yeah, we already have Cyclonus. We got him
exactly.
several years ago.
But I mean, I'm good luck. I mean, if they made it to scale with that Mania King, I hope it sells well for them. I'm sure there's people that want a Cyclonus that's a little more in scale with that figure. So I hope it does well. It's just not something I'm interested in, but.
And people have been having a lot of issues, QC issues with Citizen Stacks. So I think anyone that would jump on that initially is probably going to wait.
And I still regret so much getting the not Rat Bat. Totally regret it. So what I regret not buying, though, is Warden. And we have a Brave repaint of Warden, and oh my god, it looks great. It especially looks great connected to Brave Max. I am very much tempted to get this. I got a chance to play with Ninja Dave from NebPR. I got a chance to play with his Warden figure, and I was super, super impressed by it. I just shocked how nice I thought it was. And I think this looks really great on Brave Max. I would really, really consider this. As
big of a Headmaster fan as I am, as much as I love my Headmasters and everything, I just don't like it. It does not look right on that. And again, it's just me. It just doesn't look right to me. But I can see it does fit wonderfully Brave Max from a color standpoint.
Yes. Yeah.
It's gorgeous from a color standpoint. It's just.
I like it. I think it's pretty
but I'm weird.
No, you're awesome. But yeah, so that's potentially coming out. We're also getting. Let me skip ahead. We're getting a not Scorponok figure from Perfect Effects called Death Stalker. So I'm assuming that's going to be an actual. It's going to actually be a full size Scorponok, or Scorponok that's bigger than Warden, which makes sense.
Yes.
We have a sample of what the head's going to look like. The Zarak head, and it's nice enough. I don't love it. Any thoughts, Don, on this one?
Sorry, I have responded to a message there on the Scorponok.
Yeah.
I mean, all we've really seen is just the head, and I don't know.
I like this head sculpt so far. So
yeah,
I'm excited to see more of this.
Yeah.
It's nice. I want to see the whole thing first.
Yeah. Because the whole excitement of seeing a darkened silhouette has long since been gone for me.
Yes, exactly. But at least here we get a sample of what part of it's going to look like.
Yeah. It's like that. It's like that Scorponok that we talked about a few months ago that was coming out as a counterpart to that non-transforming Fortress Maximus. As simple of a transformation as Scorponok is, I would prefer seeing that one transform for the price. But hopefully this one will be a little more affordable for everybody.
So, last item in the news, we have a new photo of Warbotron WB01B. Heavy Noisy, a.k.a. not Brawl.
Stop making these things look so good.
Don doesn't want to see it.
I don't, because I am a huge. I've got almost every version of Bruticus except Battle Gaia. I got the Fans Project. I'm happy with that.
You don't have Battle Gaia, Don? What's wrong with you?
Because I don't have $5,000 to buy one. But God,
it looks nice, doesn't it?
It does. It looks awesome.
And it looks like Brawl.
it looks like a classics brawl.
And that they just have to do it right. And
there is nothing wrong with the Fans Project kit that turns Energon Bruticus into that's hell of a kit.
Comes with a lot of putty and spray paint.
But I have to say, this is classics brawl.
It is. It's pretty nice.
Yeah. It is beautiful, and it is expensive.
Yeah.
Imagine what Swindle's going to look like.
Not helping.
Yeah, I know.
Not
Swindle is the one I'm excited for. I'm buying that even if I don't buy the rest of the set.
Well, I'm wondering about Onslaught, because just imagine if these are the smaller limb components, imagine what Onslaught is going to look like.
Yeah.
It's going to be insane.
Well, maybe it could end up being like not Motormaster, which was, you know.
Yeah.
Overly complicated.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think on M3, not Motormaster, I think if they had just not tried to go fully integrated on everything, it would have been a little bit simpler as far as the way it worked out. But this brawl is just
a work of art.
I am going to wind up buying this Bruticus, because it's Bruticus, and the face is just, it's like he just stepped out of Starscream's Brigade.
It really is.
I think what's interesting about what Warbotron's doing with this set is they're focusing more on each individual figure and how they want to make that individual figure look. I almost think the combined mode is secondary as opposed to some of the other companies where they're more combined mode focused and not really as focused on the individual robots.
All I know is they are absolutely, and this is their first project, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is the first one I've heard of, yeah.
Yeah. Again, now we've always said there may be a lot of rotating designers between groups, as far as who needs work at whatever time with whatever project. But the sculpting, the detail. See, I love it because it's not hyper detailed. It looks like
exactly. That's it. They didn't add unnecessary detail like these things tend to do.
Yeah.
Now they're making a little shockwave to come with.
That's awesome.
With Brawl, or not with Brawl, with.
I'm gonna wind. Okay, I'm gonna say it right now. I'm gonna be weak. I'm gonna wind up buying this set because
you and me both.
And my poor Fans Project. He's gonna look at me like, I thought you loved me. I said, I do love you, but look at this.
I want to stay married, so I'm not buying it, but I will live vicariously through Dawn. Okay.
Oh, that has no negative connotations at all to it.
No, not. If so, it was unintentional. I apologize. So let's go ahead and take a break, and after that, we will return.
Radio Free Cybertron will return after these messages. You can hear our show on Stitcher Smart Radio. Stitcher allows you to listen to your favorite shows directly from your iPhone, Android phone, BlackBerry, or Palm phones. On demand and on the go. Don't have Stitcher? Download it for free today at Stitcher.com or in the app stores. Stitcher Smart Radio, the smarter way to listen to radio.
Only the aerial bots have this kind of teamwork.
Aerial bots wage their battle to destroy the evil forces of the Decepticons, the Transformers, more than meets the eye, the Transformers.
Nobody can stop Minosaur. That's Superion.
The Transformers, sold separately from Hasbro.
Transformation!
Jet Transformation!
The aerial bots are taking their shot. Some of both bots and Combaticons. They can all change and be rearranged to form a super robot Superion. The Combaticons are warring. Onslaught is roaring. Here's one metamorph Bruticus. They all combine and kick Superions behind as a big bad battle in Bruticus.
Generation 2 aerial bots and Combaticons, each sold separately.
Radio Free Cybertron has teamed up with Kokomo Toys and Collectibles in Kokomo, Indiana. If you're in the Kokomo area, visit our store for a huge selection of new and classic toys. Visit online at www.kokomotoys.com for our address and store hours. While you're there, check out our listing of pre-order items, as well as visit our eBay store. Visit us at www.kokomotoys.com. That's KOKOMOTOYS.com. We're also on Facebook. We now return to Radio Free Cybertron.
We are back. A couple things before we wrap up. I want to mention, go see Godzilla. I really like it. People are complaining that Godzilla doesn't show up much in the movie, but go back and watch Godzilla from the 70s. Some scientist is reading like this dot matrix printout of all these readings, and you know, people are talking and people like are preparing for like, you know, a natural disaster, and Godzilla shows up at the end and he beats up the monsters. I mean, that's, you know, kind of what we expect. It's great. Sorry, I just had to say that. I really liked it. So Don was telling me that Paladin, our pal Paladin, had identified a potential QC issue, maybe, with Evasion Mode Optimus. Yeah,
the famous Paladin of superhero time is. I'm sure everybody watches that anyway. But
Paladins are like lawful good. This Paladin is not. How is that?
He's Shattered Glass Paladin.
Okay, I've always wanted to ask him that.
Apparently, now this is what. If I'm misunderstanding Paladin, please correct me. There is a clear plastic bar running across or within Evasion Mode Prime's chest that everything tabs into, and apparently when you try going back to vehicle mode from robot mode, the tabs can snap off that clear piece. It can just snap off the connecting pieces. So just as a word of warning on that.
Okay, so I'm like completely skipping the toy since I couldn't get it early. I'm like pissed off, and I don't want it.
Well, that's the Evasion Mode Prime is going to be my movie Prime because the leader class is just I'm sorry, that leader class figure is just. I'll buy it if Target puts it down for like less than $10 on clearance, but Evasion Mode Prime will be my fourth movie Prime.
Cool. Let's see here. Anything? Oh, one thing I want to mention, because when I get to it, or when I think to, I want to mention podcasts that I listen to. And if you want to submit a podcast for me to check out, I am looking for new podcasts to listen to because I'm getting tired of a couple. So I really like the show Frame Rate, which was on the twit.tv network on This Week in Tech, but it's since moved to its own. It's now its own entity, basically, due to some HR-related changes at This Week in Tech. So it's now called Cord Killers, and it's at cordkillers.com, I think. Basically, it's about cord cutting. And I think cord cutting is pretty awesome. I did it. I don't have cable anymore, and it's awesome. I went from having a $250 a month cable bill to $40. Yep. So I just really like that show, and I wanted to give it a plug. So if you want to submit a podcast or suggest one to me, just tweet me at bkilby or email me, contact at tfradio.net, or Brian, BRIAN, at tfradio.net. Guys, anything else?
Less than a month to Botcon.
Oh my god. And basically at this point everything is sold out.
I haven't heard of the icon sets are sold out. The loose add-on sets are sold out.
The non-attending finally sold out, didn't it?
The icon sets.
No, the non. Oh, I thought the non-attending Primus package sold out too. That's called icon. That's what they call the icons.
Yeah,
I thought
that sold out pretty quick.
I'm confusing Protoform and Icon. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I have not checked the news since I got in from work today, so I do not know if the Primus packages are sold out. But they did say on Twitter they were getting low, and they are not sure if they'll have any more icon sets to divert, any product left to divert to more icon sets. So they're probably getting down to, except for what they keep in reserve for parts replacements, or just to fix at Botcon, they're probably getting real low at this point. Which this is probably one of the fastest selling sets in several years.
It's got the most excitement around it.
Yeah,
that Scorpion.
Well, I know. I saw Big Bad Toy Store's pre-orders were already sold out too.
Yeah, I think the only set that I can remember selling out faster than this one, for sure, would be the 2007 Games of Deception set where everybody wanted their Seekers. Maybe the Stunticon job from the animated. Maybe that was I know that was a fast seller, but I'm not sure how it compared to. There's people out there that can remember all these what sold out how fast.
I knew that one sold out, but I don't remember. I remember people liking it, but I don't remember people frothing at the mouth over it, because I thought there was a lot of people who just didn't like that design aesthetic. The Motor Master from that Prime, when everybody was wanting the Retgar, kind of, well, not everybody was wanting the Retgar, but that was the big, brouhaha, as people wanted the animated Retgar mold, and they used the Voyager Prime. But I think the 2007 set, that and maybe the Beast Wars set, were some of the fastest sellers. But anyway, less than a month away, and I'll be at Botcon sending out badly typed tweets that I can't blame on autocorrect because I don't have it on my phone. So I will be doing my best to report from the show, but be sure to tune in to T-Formers for people who can actually, type properly. Yeah, and I hope John will be doing some tweeting for us as well. I wish I was there. I'm certain that we'll do something probably live during the Hasbro panel at the very least, the Hasbro brand team panel. So
yeah, and I will do the best that I can. But you've all read my tweets and you've seen I'm fine if I can go slow.
Don, what was your credit card number again? Can you send that out, and your phone number?
867-5309.
Nice. Okay, that'll do it for the show this week. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/tfradio. You can also find us on Twitter at tfradio. And don't forget, we are the official podcast of tformers.com. Tformers right now has tons of news on Age of Extinction, and that's coming up. So for the latest Transformers 4 news, check that out. And apparently, Rise of the Dark Spark is coming out soon, too. Yeah, I completely missed out on that.
And we're supposed to have a review of that.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Have you heard back on it? Okay.
If it happens, I don't know.
We'll find out. It'll be okay. It will be okay. Okay, well, I guess that will do it. Don't forget, tune in live, tfradio.net/live and tformers.com on Wednesdays at 8:30 Eastern Time for the live show. For these guys, I'm your host, Brian Kilby. We will be back next week. Have a good one.
This has been Radio Free Cybertron. Visit us at tfradio.net for show notes and to subscribe to the podcast. Follow us on Twitter at tfradio for news and updates. Watch our live stream at tfradio.net/live. Join our Facebook fan page at facebook.com/tfradio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, TF Radio Network. Have a question or comment? Leave it on our Facebook fan page or mail it to contact@tfradio.net. This podcast is released under a Creative Commons license. Any part of this podcast can and should be redistributed, but please, proper attribution is required if you know what's good for you. Radio Free Cybertron, the original Transformers internet radio show since 1999. 100% girlfriend free since 1999.